All right, we have this problem that's been asked about section 2.2 number 48. A good question for the exam as well. I think it's mentioned that there'll be some where you have to evaluate expressions that have trig involved in it. This is very similar to a problem that we did earlier, that's in an earlier section in chapter 1. There's nothing special to this. You just need to know what your trig angles are. So cotangent of 135 degrees, we need to square that, minus sine of 30 degrees, plus 4 times the tangent of 45 degrees. And so what do we have memorized? Let's talk about what we have memorized. We have 0 degrees memorized, 30 degrees memorized, 45 degrees memorized, 60 degrees memorized, and then also the quadrantal angles as well. And so let's talk about the sine, cosine, tangent. Those are the only ones I want to think about. Sine of 0 is 0, cosine of 0 is 1, tangent is also 0 because it's sine divided by cosine. By memorization by now, you should know that the sine of 30 degrees is 1/2. If it's 1/2, then the cosine is root 3 over 2, and the tangent is sine divided by cosine. If you picture that cosine being divided, the root 3 would end up on the bottom of the fraction, and therefore this is the root 3 over 3 one. 45 degrees. Sine and cosine are both root 2 over root 2. And this is a 1. So remember, 0, 1, 2, 3, root 3 over 2, 1/2 has to come with it. And then if we were to take sine and divide it by cosine, the root 3 would stay up top. So this is the root 3 one. And then 90 degrees is going to be something. Well, sine is y, so that's going to be a 1. Cosine is x, so that's going to be a 0. Sine divided by cosine is undefined. So why am I doing all of that? Well, I'm doing it because somebody asked this question, so let's go do it. Tangent of 45 degrees by memorization, 1. Sine of 30 degrees by memorization, 1/2. Cotangent of 135 degrees. Okay, so you're thinking that's not in the realm of memorization, but sure it is. You just need to recognize that it's in the second quadrant and that all students take calculus. So because it's in the second quadrant, cotangent is negative. No problem. Even if you didn't realize that, in the end you would have gotten the right answer because a negative squared and a positive squared are the same thing. 135 degrees is off from 180 by 45 degrees, so it's related to the 45 degree angle, which is right here, number 1. And it's the flip of that. If you flip over 1, you get 1. And with all that work, right, just showing you all the justification that's in there, you're going to come out. Now, be super scared about future classes if you do not have these things memorized by the time you leave this class. You should have them memorized by the first exam. You would have not been able to bring any notes with you to the first exam if we did it in class. Please don't leave this class without having those special angles memorized. You will not pass the next class and have a super difficult time in calculus, right? If you did happen to pass it, I guess it's possible. So here we have a 1 minus a 1/2 plus a 4. We're just doing arithmetic. 1 minus 1/2. Well, that's 1/2 plus 4. I'm okay with 4.5, but if you want to write it as 9/2, go ahead. Whatever you'd like to do. If you want to write it as 4.5, we're doing great. But not anything more than knowing what your special angles are.